Hey guys, welcome back to Just Me, Caitlin. If you're new here, my name is Caitlin, and if you're a subscriber, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a wrap-up of all the books that I read in 2023. I know 2023 is not over yet, but I'm going to Florida, so I won't have time to film this video, and I want to get it out for you guys. So I'm going to show you what I'm currently reading and all the books that I have read so far. Also, if you notice my new hair, I got a new haircut. I'm going in the new year with a new style, new me. So let's get on with the book haul. What I'm currently reading right now is The Fine Print, and I really love this book. I actually didn't think I would like it. I was at my cousin's house. I gave this to her because we got it at a book sale, and I was like, I'm never going to read this. And then all of a sudden she was like, I'm never going to read this, so she gave it to me. And one day I was at her house dog sitting, and I just started reading it. Loved it. I am halfway through it, and I really want to finish this soon. Let's start with the books that I've read in 2023. The first one that I read in 2023 was People We Meet on Vacation. I really did not like this book. I read it with my cousin. I just thought, for me, it was kind of boring. It wasn't my cup of tea. Maybe I should try another Emily Henry book, but this one was not my favorite. I read All This Time. This is by the author who wrote the book 5 Feet Apart, and you know I've talked about that a lot. That's my favorite book. This one was actually really good as well. I read What I Carry, and this book, I gave it a 5 stars. It was so good. Loved the story. Highly recommend this book. I read Love in Other Words, and I don't want to say anything, but this was not hyped up as I thought it would be. I really did not enjoy this book. I know people love this book, but it was just not my cup of tea. I read a mystery thriller. It was Then She Was Gone. I love this book from the beginning to the end. I was hooked. Love the story. I know it was a little bit on the edgy side, but it was really good, and I highly recommend it. I also read Tell Me 3 Things. This book was so cute, but the plot twist I kind of knew. So yeah, a good book. Then I read Today, Tonight, and Tomorrow. I did not like this book. It wasn't really interesting to me. It didn't pull me in. But I read it anyway. And the whole entire Summer I Turn Pretty series, which I'm glad I read it because I wanted to watch the new series. Overall, it was a really good book series, but I prefer the show. So yeah. I read another book series, and I read the Selection series. I highly recommend this series. I loved it so much. It was amazing because when I was in middle school, I saw all the girlies reading these, and I wasn't a big book girl. And then now I just read these, and these are so good. Highly recommend. I read Every Summer After. I did not like this book. I don't know why I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. I also read some Colleen Hoover. I have some things about Colleen Hoover right now. I'm not a Colleen Hoover girly anymore, but I read Ugly Love, and this one surprisingly was actually really good. Then I read They Both Die at the End. I loved this book from the beginning, and then as soon as I got closer to the end, it started going downhill for me, and I was like, oh no, because it was so good just until that one ending part. Then I read my first Catherine Center book. There's a story about this, and I'll let you guys know about it. I think I've talked about it on my channel before, but I'm going to say it again so people who haven't heard about it can hear my story. So I went to my local bookstore, and I went in, and I was looking for The Bodyguard by Catherine Center, which is on my bookshelf now, and I am overdue. I need to read it. And I said, do you have her book? And they said, no, we don't have it in paperback when we don't have it. And I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, wait a second. She's like, I have this book by the same author. It just came out, and I got an exclusive copy. And she's like, here. And she's like, you can read it. Here you go. And I was like, you sure? She gave it to me for free. She's like, you don't have to pay. You can have it. And if you don't want to read it, or if you don't read it, or you read it and you don't want to keep it, you can send it to someone else or share it with someone. And I was like, okay. So I had this book in my room just lying around. And then during the summer, I was like, maybe I'll give it a shot. So I read this book, and guess what? You won't believe it. This book was 6 stars for me. It was over 5 stars, obviously. It was the best book I've ever read. So good. I highly recommend it. And I'm so excited to read The Bodyguard. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that book. I love it. It holds a special place in my heart. Then I read Love and Olives, and this book is a thick one, and I was not a big fan of it. Read Love and Gelato, I think that's what it's called. Love and Gelato, and I really liked that book. I thought this one was going to be good as well. Not my favorite, but it was a good story overall. Then I read Alice Feeney's Rock, Paper, Scissors. This book. It was my first mystery thriller book, and honestly, I wasn't too keen on it. Wasn't my favorite. I liked reading it. It was good. Get me there, but it wasn't my favorite mystery thriller. I read If He Had Been With Me. I loved this book, and at the end I cried. That's all I'm going to say about this. I read 2 more Colleen Hoover books, and these are the last 2 that I read this year so far. I might maybe scoot in 1 more book for this year. Hopefully I can do that. If not, these are all the books I've read. I read Layla by Colleen Hoover, and I read Heartbone by Colleen Hoover. I loved Heartbone. Layla was a little bit weird for me. I wasn't a big fan of it, but Heartbone was really good. All the books that I read so far for 2023, and I can't wait to see what I read next year. And if you have any recommendations on books, comment down below, and I will try to get to as many books as I can in the new year. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, and comment down below your favorite book that I read this year. I also read another book series. These books are falling.